Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Darrell from the Quest in Galesburg, Illinois. Hope you're having a good morning. And I wanted to share just a brief word this morning and I want to try to be as non-political as I can with this, but it's impossible to approach a subject without getting a little bit political. I know that right now you've got one camp that is so joyous, celebrating because Joe Biden is about to be sworn in as president in a couple of days. You got another group that is upset for the same reason. You got some people hoping that by some miracle that President Trump is going to be put back in office. And I don't want to get into all that stuff, but it was like, it's this. I made a comment earlier on Facebook. Don't want to get into it, but somebody sent me a message that said, doesn't this stuff worry you? And that's what I want to deal with. No, it doesn't worry me. Did I get my personal preference? No, it didn't. But, I shared this the other day that the election is over. This is what it is, and we have to deal with this. Here's the point, though. If I allow myself in my mind to start getting worked up, agitated, saying this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is not going to happen, it will rip me to pieces. It will put me in anger. That's what causes people to riot and do those things that they do. My mind was drawn to something Paul wrote in Romans, the 8th chapter. Allow me to read it to you. He said, those who live according to the flesh have their minds set on the fleshly desires. But those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their minds set on what the Spirit desires. The mind governed by the flesh is death. But the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. The mind governed by the flesh is hostile to God, and it does not submit to God's law, nor can do it so. Those who are in the realm of the flesh cannot please God. Well, here's what I'm getting at. You don't hear this term used near as much. Truck drivers are familiar with it. There used to be a device, I guess there still is a device you can put on a vehicle called a governor, that limits the speed, limits the production of that vehicle can do. Those engines are powerful, can take it at much higher speeds, but with a governor on it, it can only do so much. Paul said that the mind governed by the Spirit. In other words, the Spirit is controlling you. If you're in tune with the things of the Spirit rather than the flesh. Listen, in my flesh, man, I'm ready to throw down. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to argue and, whatever. But when you're in tune with the things of the Spirit and your things are tuned into godly things, the Holy Spirit will put you in check or govern you and will cause you to stop. There was a time prior to the election, if you follow me, I was voicing my concerns. I was asking people to get on board to vote. But you know what? I don't live according to my flesh. No matter what comes, God is in control of my life. He may not control every aspect of this world, but I have made him Lord and master of my life. And so when I start getting out of check, the Holy Spirit governs me, pulls me back down to where I need to be so I stay level-headed, so I don't do foolish things. I'm not saying I never do foolish things. Don't misunderstand me. My point is that when you're in tune with the things of the flesh and you're looking for things of the flesh, it's going to always lead to things your flesh desires. The flesh wants to be in control. The flesh wants to fight. The flesh wants to argue. Spiritual things, however, are different. That's what causes somebody to face a fiery furnace and say, God is able to deliver me. But if he doesn't, I'm okay. That's how Stephen could face his accusers as they began to throw stones at him in peace, because he knew God was governing his flesh. He could have, let me back away from that for a minute. Many people have asked me over the years, said, well, if the government comes against us and says deny Christ, can I deny Christ outwardly but inwardly? Know what I mean? No, that's the coward's way out. Governed by the Spirit means we know God's in control, and God will either, one, protect us, or he'll take us safely home. I want to encourage you to seek God in all things, to seek his ways, and let the Holy Spirit temper you, guide you, and govern your life. He will keep you in peace, according to what the Word says, and I've lived it out in my life. He will keep you in perfect peace, those whose mind is stayed on him. Hope this helps somebody today. God bless you. You have a wonderful day. Come back and see me again tomorrow at the Quest.